The Rise of the Samurai by Lizette, Molly, Sam, and Tommy.
In 1185, Minamoto Yoritomo came to power in Japan. He did not replace the emperor, but took the title of shogun, commander-in-chief. The ruling class of Japan was now filled by professional warriors called samurai. The samurai pledged to serve and protect the shogun, and in return the shogun gave them appointments to government office, grants of land, weapons, armor, or horses. In the 15th century, all samurai were aligned with the daimyo, or warlord, and Japan broke out into war as they all vied for land and power in this century of bloody warfare. The prevailing daimyo became the shogun, and thus began a 250-year age of peace. It was during this time that the samurai culture developed. Girls and boys alike from samurai families learned to harden their feelings and use weapons at a young age. The samurai wore heavy armor in battle. Over a kimono and baggy trousers, they wore leather shin guards, metal sleeves, panels on their chest and back, broad shoulder guards, and outer armor made of metal plates laced together with silk. They topped it off with a ferocious helmet. Samurai fought with bow and arrow, spear, and flexible razor-sharp swords. A young samurai became an apprentice to an archery master to learn the mental and physical techniques. Samurai practiced sword fighting until they could do it well without thinking. Samurai also learned to fight without weapons using martial arts. When samurai went to battle, there were first messengers from each army to agree on a time and place. Then the armies faced each other several hundred yards away. Samurai shouted their names, ancestors, heroic deeds, and reasons for combat. Then the enemies charged, each samurai choosing an opponent of equal rank to engage in hand-to-hand combat. When the battle was won, an individual would cut off the heads of those they had defeated, clean mount, and present them to their lord as proof. Samurai trained to endure great pain and suffering. They would fast, walk long journeys barefoot in the snow, and sit stiff for hours. To overcome the fear of death, they would see themselves as already dead. Samurai teachers would train their pupils to be alert at all times. Most samurai were Zen Buddhists. They emphasized effort and discipline. Samurai were expected to value loyalty and personal honor more than their lives. Insults on the street could soon become duels, and samurai often avenged their lord's death. They would commit seppuku or ritual suicide to preserve honor, among other things. In the 12th century, samurai women were treated with respect. A samurai's wife was expected to be just as loyal and brave as the men, even though they rarely fought. In the 17th century, men ruled the household. Women were entered into arranged marriages to heighten their family's wealth and status. Wives were expected to bear sons and sometimes kill themselves when their husband died. They were to sleep little, work within the house all day, dress and eat simply, and avoid entertainment. Japan during this time was much like medieval Europe. The warrior society in Japan lasted until 1868, when the emperor was restored to power. But this culture is still remembered today in everyday life.
The Rise of the Samurai